Hey everybody, it's Uber Dante here, and today I've got another Dante Plays video. This is a one-card game called Contagion by Jonathan Weiner, and this was an entry in the very first Board Game Geek one-card game design contest way back in 2020, I believe. And you just got this one card. It is a tiny game of pandemic proportions, so it's kind of like Pandemic, the board game Pandemic on one card. And it's a solo game. And you can have a look at the card. It's on this side, it says Contagion Nordic countries. So you can kind of see. The Nordic countries there, Scandinavia, I guess. And you'll just be playing in here. So we got three different countries here. And what do you need? Well, you need some dice. So you're going to put a dice of each color at the top, and this represents the current state of three different viruses. And then at the bottom, you also have the same colored dice, and this represents the vaccine, I believe. So you're trying to get a vaccine for each one of these viruses, and that's represented by changing this 4 to a 6. And the goal is to get all of 3 of these at 6. And so I'm playing at the easiest level, where you start at 4. You can start anywhere. The hardest level would be starting at 1. But it's going to be a longer game. So I'm just going to start here at 4. And then you're going to need a timer here. This represents a timer, and this is going to go up here. And there's some different events that occur here that will basically increase these viruses each turn. So you're going to move this. You start off with the die of 1, and it's kind of hard to see, but all along this side you can see a little die. So you're going to move up, and then the next turn you're going to be at 2, and you're going to move down to this spot. You're going to have 1 spot up, and then when you're at 3, it's going to be 1 more spot up. So each round, each time through this course, it's going to get shorter and shorter. Then you also, this side, you got 1 through 7. This is your research. Let's see, let's put these in the same order. These start at 1. And you're going to need to build these up to 7. If you get one up to 7, then you can increase this die by spending them. They'll use the research to do other things, like fight off the virus and things like that. And then you're going to need, like, your scientists. They're going to start here in Helsinki. And you need a kind of die for, this is the only die you roll, for randomization. Okay, and then the last thing is you have 4 actions you can take each turn. Now, if you look at the rule book says 5, but if you go look at the rule, the work in progress thread, it's got the rules, but also read through, at least at the end of the work in progress thread, there's some changes to the rules that haven't actually made it to the rule book. And so one of the changes is you go from 5 actions to 4 actions, which I think makes it better. It's a bit too easy with 5 actions each time. Okay, and I'm just gonna go kind of, I haven't really explained anything, but I'm just gonna kind of play through. We're actually not done with the setup yet. We have to set these up. So I'm gonna roll a dice, and I got a 3, and you can see this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means since it's 3, I'm gonna take this green virus and move that up to 3, because I got this 3 here. I'm gonna move this one up 2. So if I rolled a 1, this would be a 3. Okay. And the next one I rolled a 1, so that one's gonna go up to a 2. So you always start with one of them at 1, one of them at 2, one of them at 3, and each turn you're gonna kind of roll to see which virus is going to go up that turn. So you're going to use these die roll here. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you can take different actions. So one is you can move. Now, what happens here is you can see there's 3 different marks. So you've got treat. So if you're on this, if I'm here on this treat red, that means I can treat this virus, which basically means I can make it go lower. There's the research, this cross, you can research, and then you're gonna roll, and there's a kind of guide here. If you roll 1, 2, or 3, you get 3 research points. If you roll 4 or 5, you get 4, and if you roll 6, you get 5 research points. And so you have to be on one of those, and then you'll get whatever color it is. And then the last one is where you start. This is, I don't know what it's called, but it's basically it creates your vaccine. So you can spend, if you get to the maximum here, you can spend all 7 research points to increase your research die to get that vaccine made. And that's, I think, all you need to know. So I'm going to use these. I probably use this sporadically. Sometimes I forget how many turns I've taken, but these are just to help me remember I took a turn. So, okay, so no green. I want to keep these as low as possible, but I also want to increase my research and research points. So let's see if I can do both. So we're near this green. So let's move to green. That'll be 1 action to move. You can also fly anywhere. So let's say I wanted to fly to this red from this blue. That would cost me 1 research point for each color. So if I'm traveling from green to green, it would cost me 2 green research points. If I'm traveling from green to blue, it costs me a green and a blue. This becomes really important later in the game when you don't really have, you really have to do something like on that next turn. But right now, I think I'm okay. I'm just gonna move regularly, and I moved to this treat. Now, to treat something, if you don't spend any research points, you can move this down by 1. And then if you spend 1, so I'm going from 1 to 0, then you can move this down 2, which is what I'm going to do. And then if you spend 2 research points, you can move it down 3. That's the most you can do. So that was my second move. I used the action on that one, and then I'm going to move again. That's the third move, and this is research. So to research, you're going to roll this dice, and I got a 1. So that means I get 3 on the green, so I was at 0, so now I'm at 3. That's kind of unfortunate. But maybe the next turn I can do. Now you can only do, I can't like, you can only do the research roll once per turn per color. So I could do a green one and then do a red one, but I can't do green twice. But basically, yeah, if you start at 1, even if you rolled the lowest twice, you should get to 7. So, and these, if you drop to 0 at the beginning of your turn, these always go back to 1, and that's a new rule as well. Okay, and that was my 4th move, I believe. So now it is the virus's turn, basically. So what we're gonna do is move this up, and you kind of look and see if there's any mark on here. So there's these kind of virus marks, but there's nothing here. In that case, you're just gonna roll the dice, and whichever number you get, you're gonna increase that by 1. So I got a 5. So that would be this blue one, so this goes up by 1. So there we go, and that's it. So I'll just keep playing. So next turn, maybe I'm on the research, so let's try to get some research. If I can get a 4, or 4, 5, or 6, be in good shape. And of course I got a 1. So I can only go up to 6. Research. Let's move to, that was one turn. Second turn, let's yeah, we'll just go here, then we'll move here. So we'll do another research, so that'll be our 4th move. We'll research the red. We got 3, so we're up to 4 for that one. Okay, now it's the virus's turn. So now the dice has landed on a virus mark, so this means you roll the dice, and whichever one it lands on, I got a 6, will go up by 2. So it's a kind of extra one. So now I'm at 4. Now, these can go all the way up to 6, but once they go, if you have to raise it past 6, instead of raising it past 6, you're going to raise the other ones up, both the other ones up 1. So you don't want it to get too high if you can help it. Okay, so probably I should treat this 4 if I can. But I'd like to get, I'm here on the research, so let's do that. So I'm on the red, so we'll research for our first one. It doesn't really matter, whatever I get. You don't go over 7's the most you can get. Okay, so that's my first move. Then I can move down 1, and that's a move. And now I'm on this science one. I don't know what it's called. And I can use all 7 of these research points to increase this die. Again, I'm trying to get all of these at 6. The minute all 3 are at 6, you win. And if at the end of the turn all of these are at 6, you lose. Okay. So what was that? I went here, 1, 2, I think it was my 3rd move. Okay, so I can go once more. I can't fly anywhere because I'm at 0 red. So we'll just go to the green research for our last turn. Okay, now I hope this one doesn't go up. So we'll go up here, but even if it does, it only goes up 1. So roll. Yes, it did. It was the, I got a 5, so this goes up to 5. The other 2 are fine, but this is not good. And if I roll that next time, that will definitely go over 6. So I want to treat it. But let's, okay, it's my turn. This goes back to 1. Is that 0? And let's do our research so we can get that up there. So roll, doesn't matter what I roll because I can only go up to 7. That was 1 turn. Can I get to the treat 1? Yeah, I don't want to spend that. Spend that one. I'd like to use it here. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. So I couldn't. I don't like that one sitting there like that. Okay, well, what are we gonna do? That was 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just spend this. And that one's out of it, so that's good. Okay, and that's it. That's all 4. This goes up. This one means whichever one's going to be raised by 2. So hopefully, I roll a 3 or a 4, a 1, a 2, or 3 or a 4. I'm just not a 5 or a 6. So of course I rolled a 6. So you can see this is how an outbreak happens. So I move it to 6 is fine, but this time I'm moving twice. So now I have to move it up from 6 and I can't. So in that case, I move both of these up 1. So that was rather unfortunate. And this is still staying at 6, so. Okay, now if you do get one of these up to 6, then you have a special power when you do the treat. You can just automatically put it to 1 if you're on that treat. If you're on that treatment 1. Instead of spending research. Okay, so all my research is at 1. It's my turn. I really need to do something about that. I could fly here, that would be 1. Get the research, that'd be 2. Come here, that'd be 3, and then treat it so it goes down to at least 3. So let's do that. So we need to fly, we need to spend 1 of each color. I'm flying from green to blue, so I need to spend green and a blue. So now I'm in the blue research. I can roll to see how much I get. I got a 3, so that gives me 3. Okay, let's push these over. And, okay, that was my second move. Third move is move to the treatment. And 4th is to use my treatment. So I'm going to do the maximum, which is to spend 2. And move this down by 3. So now I'm at 3, 2 and 3. And this goes up. We're gonna roll. And this blue virus just keeps on going. Okay. That's not too bad though. So my turn, I'm gonna move these all back to 1 again. And since I'm on the treatment, I'll just do that again. And I only have 1 to spend, so that will bring it down 2. And what do I want to do? Research, and then I still have another move. I can't fly anywhere, so let's do some blue research. And I got 1. Okay. And that was my that was my 3rd move. And what do I want to do next? I guess I can do nothing and just stay on this research. Can I do that? I can't remember if you're allowed to do nothing. I guess you're allowed to do nothing. Maybe I want to go to this treat this red. Okay, so my last move is go to the red. Now this one will go up to whichever one I roll. And again, I got rolled a 6. So this one is going up to. It's not great. The next time I go up is going to be a pandemic. That one works a little bit different, so I'll just explain when that happens. Okay, should we treat this one as long as we're here? Okay, let's treat this one and then get the research for blue. So I'm going to treat. I spent 1 red, so I can go down 2. And that was my first move. I'm going to move. This is my second move. I'm going to do research. Give me something good. No, 1, 2, 3. I needed a 4. Okay, I guess that was my third move. And then I have a fourth move. Best to go to this treat, I think. Okay. Yeah, definitely want to be there. So now we're at the last spot here, so I'll show you how that works. This is a pandemic. So instead of rolling, you're just going to find the highest die, and you're going to increase that one by 2. So that one goes all the way to 6. And then the other 2, you're going to increase by 1. And again, if it goes over, you're going to do the outbreak stuff. So it does have there's a chance that they're kind of, chain react. And then what you're going to do is you're going to change that dice to a 2. Move that up, and then the next time, instead of being on the 1, you're going to start on the 2, so it's shorter. Okay. All right, I'm going to move this red up. It's my turn. I really need to treat that so I don't have more trouble. So let's just treat 1, 2. So let me bring it down 3. And then I want to, that's 1. I want to research. I want to get that one. Okay, so research. Doesn't matter what I roll. It's going to go to the top. And I have 1 more. Right? I treated. I moved. I rolled. 1 more move. I want to go down here, so let's just get 1 closer. Okay, now it's the virus's turn. We will roll, see what we get. Got a 6 again. Yeah, so that goes up 1. Yeah, that's not great. But we're okay. We're okay. Even that goes up to 6, we're okay. So my turn, I'm going to spend all 7 research points to increase this. Okay, good, we're all at 5. That's my first move. Let's do some other research. Maybe. Oh, no, sorry, that should have been 2 moves because I had to move down here first. Okay, sorry, you can only do that if you're here. So that was 2 moves. Maybe we'll treat this, I think. We'll go here. We can spend this because I'm going to get it right back. Then let's move it down too. So there we go. That's not bad. Next round, this is going to go up. Whichever one I roll is going to go by 2. And it was a 1 this time. Okay. There we go. So this goes up to 4. I'm going to skip ahead and I'll catch you at the end of the game. Okay, so I'm doing good here. I'm on the 3rd round. I've got 2 of my vaccines ready, and yeah, I'm not in too much trouble. It is my turn right now. So if all goes well, I could probably win in the next 1 or 2 moves. So I'm going to spend... I'm going to take a flight, spend a blue and a green to go here and do some research. I really need to research this green. I got 5, which is great because that brings me up to 4. And then I'd like to go here. That was 1 move. That was 2 moves. So I can't do a lot here. We'll just go here and we won't spend anything. So we just treat that. Okay, and this goes up. I got a 5, so this goes up 2. That's fine. I've got the pandemic next, but I think I can win on this turn. So go here for 1. Maybe not. Maybe I can't win on this turn. Roll. I didn't play that right. So I'm at 7. Move twice. Yeah. So we're going to do a pandemic 1 more time. So the highest one goes up 2, but we're okay. It's not an outbreak. So it's 6. These go up 1. This was a pretty easy win today. And this goes down to the 4 spot there. Yeah, then I can just buy this. Goes up to 6 and 1. And that is Contagion. So I think probably starting 3 is probably better than the 4. My last game was a bit closer. Once you get past these turns, they start getting really short. I was lucky to get these done pretty fast. If I had to do another round, it might be tricky. But once you have if you can get one of these vaccines, it does make things easier. So I think maybe starting at 3 for these is better than what I did. If you got more of a challenge. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video.